So what is it that prompted you and others like you to change course and to join the Trinamool Congress?
And I feel it is time for me to give the right proper answer that the people need to know.
And people are losing their voices. So you have a very, very difficult journey now.
But at least have that vision and put the right people in there. And I'm sure we have people. If not, we'll import. No harm.
Good morning, viewers. We are here to interview Mr. Charles Pyngrope, former Speaker of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly and now member of the All India Trinamool Congress. He and 11 other MLAs joined the Trinamool Congress on November 24th, right? So we are here to find out the reasons for leaving the Congress, for which you have been a part of at least for 2 decades, if not more. So what is it that prompted you and others like you to change course and to join the Trinamool Congress?
I've been asked this question
many times.
Many times, yes. And I feel it is time for me to give the right proper answer that the people need to know.
Yes, yes.
As elected representatives, we have a responsibility towards the people of the state and the country as a whole. Therefore, in the last decade of the Congress rule in the country, we have seen that the leadership has been found wanting. Now, that could be for many reasons. Like, if there is an election and the party that was supposed to come to power loses its power, then there must be a reason.
Yes,
So
some introspection.
Introspection. However, when we did that introspection and gave our views, most of the time it was not accepted or even taken cognizance of. Now, that is okay if you're just dealing with Charles Pyngrope, but you're dealing with the whole state.
Yes, yes.
So, I found that it was time to move on.
You feel that there's no inner party democracy in the Congress?
Inner party democracy in the Congress was very,
a vague thing.
Yes.
Because we find that there are elections to the primary units, to the blocks, but when it comes to the AICC, there's always a nomination.
The voice of the people, which we always say that the grassroots, their voice should be heard.
Yes, yes.
But they hear it to a certain level, and after that it gets lost. And when that happens, then obviously leadership crisis is detrimental to the growth of society.
At the moment, what do you see as an alternative to the BJP? Is it just the Trinamool? What about the regional parties?
Yes. I would say, like, we must now somehow move away from that BJP Congress,
yes, binary
system of ruling the country, and look to other parties. Now, in the All India Trinamool Congress, we saw that there was determination and the courage to face these mighty parties, especially the BJP, and to create a viable alternative. So, the recent elections in West Bengal was an eye-opener to a lot.
Yes, yes.
A lady with so much courage, taking on the might of the BJP and winning those elections means she has her feet firmly on the ground.
Yes. So how different is the All India Trinamool Congress from the Indian National Congress in terms of, the organizational strengths and the current topic of discussion everywhere is whether there will be takers for the AITC here in Meghalaya. People are saying there may be people who will follow it because of the leaders that they follow. Others feel that maybe in the Khasi Jaintia Hills there will be few takers. So what is it that you're doing as a party now, as a new party organization, to convince people that this is the better alternative to the Congress?
Yes. So we come back to the same discussion we had just now. This is a pan-India organization, party. And it has spread its roots all over the country. Now, if you want an alternative, you will have to look at a strong alternative which has a leadership which is pro-people. And who's willing to work for the interests of the people. Now, that sort of a party should get together. Those type of parties should get together and form that alternative to the BJP if we want to grow in this country.
Because as of today, there is no single party that can check the BJP. We have seen last evening the SIT report on that Lakhimpur Kheri case. The SIT, and because this is a Supreme Court directed inquiry, so the SIT has found that it was a conspiracy to run over the farmers. And yet we find ourselves unable to do anything. The father of that man who drove the car over the bodies of the farmers is still the Home Minister of State for Home in this country. I mean, ethically, I think we are down in the dumps. So, is the Trinamool Congress looking at this very seriously, at such cases?
Yes, it has to. Because once you allow the constitutional right of any individual to be trampled upon, like what happened in Lakhimpur, then we are going back into the dark ages. And that is dangerous for us. For humankind. It's dangerous for humankind.
And the other day, you all had given a statement condemning the intent of the BJP to homogenize Hinduism or Hindutva. And we have seen that Karnataka is planning to pass a bill against conversion. Slowly we are seeing that the country is being fenced in, and people are losing their voices. So you have a very, very difficult journey now. How do you intend to do it? I mean, are you trying to mobilize voices? Because the rest of the country has mobilized the Christian voices. Over here, we are yet to see that happening. And this is not because, we are talking religion and politics, but because we want freedom to worship.
If you go back and see the track record of the chairperson of the AITC, Congress, Mrs. Mamata Banerjee, you will see that her primary concern is to raise the voice of the people, should be heard. And that's what she aims to do. Now for that she will need help, partners. Now if like-minded people like us, all over the country, do not assist her in her job of ensuring that your fundamental rights are not trampled upon, then we'll be lacking in our duty. Then we will be silent spectators. So if you're a silent spectator, then you are complicit.
A lot has been said about the present ruling coalition, the MDA government here in Meghalaya. There have been scams, there have been inquiries that have led nowhere. We are looking at that inquiry into the killing of Cherister Field. He may have been a militant before, but I think he has chosen to walk the straight and narrow. And in any case, there is no excuse to just kill somebody in cold blood. But even that is hanging fire with the State Human Rights Commission plus the other inquiry commissioned by the government. So what do you think, what do you see are the governance flaws in this present ruling MDA?
There is no transparency to start with.
Okay.
In fact, if you recall, I had raised this in the House. I said, we are not here to discuss why and how he was, his life was taken.
Yes.
But to ensure a free and fair inquiry
Yes.
by a committee constituted by the government, the persons who were involved in that should be removed first.
Yes. Yes.
Which means we are asking for their removal. It has happened in other states.
Yes.
They remove them so that at least the
Inquiry is.
the people know that this intention of the government
Yes.
is true. They mean business,
Yes. Yes.
irrespective of the outcome.
Yeah.
But they did not even do that. Because removal of the persons involved doesn't mean you're suspending them.
Yeah.
It's not punishment.
Yes.
You must not take it as a punishment.
Yes.
In fact, you have to take it as, okay, let them do it. Let the inquiry be taken with our presence. Then the people get satisfied. They're not worried about the outcome of it, what will happen. They want to know whether the inquiry is fair.
Yes. Yes.
That is more important.
It's already about, see, this happened in August. Now it's December. We don't see anything coming in the near
Then I
future.
spoke in the House, but there was no answer.
Then you have the MECL scam, using smart meters that are Chinese made, which we know are dangerous for the country because there can be data leakage.
Right.
And considering that India and China are not the best of friends, and also that the central government has given clear directives that you cannot use Chinese made implements. Yet we see that happening here. So how is the TMC going to tackle this? Because you represent a lot of voices that are unheard.
No, this is an area of concern. The smart meters, according to the government of India, they were supposed to be installed, and the supplier of those meters would have to install it free of cost.
Okay.
Free of cost. That was what my understanding is. And the cost of the meter would be recovered subsequently through the bills. But what I came to know that the MECL bought those meters. That means not taking cognizance of the order of the central government. When to buy those meters at an exorbitant rate, we're taking a loan of 200 crores from the ADB.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, for already a beleaguered corporation which is down on its knees, I mean, struggling to survive, to put it mildly, you put an additional burden of 200 crores. I mean,
in fact, there are loans after loans after loans.
So, it's, it doesn't send a good signal.
So whoever inherits the next government will really have to deal with a lot.
You'll have to first, see, we can't go, what I call it is not witch hunting. But we must act responsibly.
Yes, yes.
So that the interest of the state is of paramount importance. Legislators come, legislators go. But if you do not think of the state,
Yes.
then you are not doing justice to your job and to your own, to yourself.
Yeah.
Therefore, all these scams, they will come out. The CAG will bring it out in the report. What do you do then? But why do we have to have the CAG
Yes.
tell us
to tell us
to
what's
do this?
wrong.
Why should we have a watchdog to tell us that we have done this? Our own conscience should tell us that. Like, if the TMC, if it was the TMC, I wouldn't have allowed that. I wouldn't have allowed that. Yes, there are benefits of having the smart meters. Other states have used prepaid meters,
Yes,
which is also good.
yes.
Because
Manipur is using prepaid
Manipur in
meters.
Imphal,
Yeah.
the former chief minister of Manipur told me personally, he says, this is Charles, when I introduced this system, no complaints, no billing defaults. No one say my bill is coming 10 months. You pay and you use.
Yes, yes.
Okay, here we could have done that. It is successful in the GAD quarters in Lumdisa, Motinagar. So this was a move that was wrongly, whoever advised the government did not give them the proper advice, I feel.
So it's there's a lot to clean up, I
Lot
think,
to
in the
clean up,
MECL, because I was speaking to some senior officers and they feel that even if they were to work 25 hours a day, it'll take a lot of cleaning up. So that's the problem, that whoever comes after this government, hopefully this government, I don't know.
TMC will come.
Yeah. So we'll have to do a lot of cleaning up, and we hope that the cleaning up will happen. I think that's what every common citizen hopes for.
I can assure you on this platform that if the people of the state votes the TMC into power, we will start cleaning up every department. And that is my personal wish also. Not to point fingers at anybody,
Yes, yes.
but that these things don't
Streamline.
reoccur.
Yeah, yeah.
These things don't happen again. If you'll recall, I was also, like you mentioned, I was former speaker. I was also former chairman of the Meghalaya Government Construction Corporation.
Yes.
In 2003, in the assembly, the former chief minister, then Dr. D. Lapang, said we have to close this corporation down. I said, let me take over as chairman. So at that time I was minister and chairman. And I cleaned that corporation to such an extent that the staff were getting salaries on the first of the month. And the contractors were getting their bills on time. Because I used a system which was transparent.
Okay.
If I go to explain, it'll take a little time. So, but till date, to date, as we speak, they are doing very well.
So it means that it takes individuals to streamline and to clean up an institution and to get it going, make
And
it viable.
individuals who know their job.
Yes.
Now, I'm not an expert on a lot of matters, but let me employ the experts.
Yes.
Like the Lee Kuan Yew, late
Yes.
Prime Minister of Singapore. When he constituted the Economic Development Board of Singapore, the EDB, he didn't put politicians there. His ministers were all people who
Experts
specialists
in their
in their
field.
various
Yes,
fields.
yeah.
And today is the first world nation.
This is what we need actually in Meghalaya.
that
We do not have a think tank of any sort, and you find that politicians don't have the time to spend in brainstorming. Bureaucrats are busy chasing files, so there's a vacuum there. I hope that the TMC fills up that vacuum.
It has. It will. If you see the finance minister of Trinamool, West Bengal, the former FICCI president,
Yes.
Amit Mitra, and they have, numerous luminaries who are experts in their own field. Like you say, okay, a minister doesn't know his department or he cannot function properly because you can't blame him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the necessary qualifications. I don't have the necessary.
Yes.
But we must bring in people who will do it for you.
We'll do it. Yes.
And some are even willing to do it pro bono.
Okay.
Because for the love of the state.
Yes. 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 Maybe we are not using that human
Yes,
resource
you're not using it.
adequately.
You're not using it. And this statement I made in 2018 in the House.
Okay.
And the Chief Minister, Mr. Conrad Sangma, said, like to inform the members that we don't have to get anybody, we have enough people in the state. But where are they?
Where are they? Yes. Where do you go to?
Where are they? And I wish there's still time. You should bring them in. Because you need finance experts.
Yes. Yes.
You need planning experts.
You need a tourism expert.
You need a tourism expert who will tell you to. Then you won't have to worry.
Yes.
The
Yes.
minister's job becomes so easy.
No, and also we've noticed in Meghalaya that there is actually no policy on anything. You don't have a health policy. So without a policy, how do you define your goals? And what is the goal post? How do you reach there?
So first you must have your vision.
Yeah, yeah.
You must have the vision of what you want to do with the state. Not necessarily that you will succeed in every field or sphere. But at least have that vision and put the right people in the book in there. And I'm sure we have people.
Yes,
It would not be import, no harm.
yes,
So that every penny spent is spent wisely
yes. And is accounted for.
and is accounted for, which is more important. That is why I always feel if there is transparency, accountability, we are a state that can do well.
Can do well, yes, yes. So we seem to have squandered that goodwill of the people. So if the TMC does well in 2023 and you will still fall short of the numbers, what are the coalition partners you are looking at?
We will work with anyone who has a similar ideologies,
Okay.
the similar ways of thinking which I am giving you today, which our party has. We'll work with them. But there has to be accountability and responsibility.
See, the present coalition does not have a common minimum program. I think that also is a problem area, because at the end of the day, people will ask every regional party, what have you done? What has been your manifesto and whether you've accomplished that? So will the TMC, if it comes to, close to power and has to work with somebody, and we've seen that Meghalaya has a history of coalitions. So will you come up with that kind of a common minimum program?
We will. We will have to.
Yes.
Because the cards must be laid on the table.
Yes.
That as coalition partners, if it has to be in that manner, you have to agree on that first.
Yes.
It is not only important to make sure that you sit in the chair. You can sit in the opposition and be a better government than be a shadow government.
Yes.
Like we have in the British Parliament. Yes.
That's what it's meant to be.
Meant to be. There has to be a shadow government.
Yes.
But I am confident, we are confident that with the hearing the voices of the people, especially the youth and the women who are coming to join us in numbers. It is not a mass joining, but we have been getting calls.
Okay.
And the youth. And we are going to stress on that because the youth is our future.
Yeah.
People like us are now time to retire.
Yes, yes.
But when we hand over the baton to somebody, we have to give it to a person who can handle it.
Yes, yes.
So as leaders, we should be breeders of leaders. Otherwise we would have failed in our job to serve the people.
But that's easier said than done, because most politicians don't want to breed second generation leaders for fear that they will be upstaged.
The TMC doesn't allow that.
Okay.
I will not speak about other parties. But the AITC under Mamata Banerjee doesn't allow that. She ensures that, and she told me personally, you will have the freedom to do what you want, but you will have to make sure that there is discipline, that discipline is paramount. So when there is discipline, then even the leaders can be removed. That is the mandate the chairperson has given us.
You spoke about the youth and women, and we know that women are great campaigners. Without women to help the candidates go around and campaign, it's difficult to win elections, at least in Meghalaya. So are you looking at a very robust women's wing?
Yes, we are.
And youth wing?
Both, and not just anybody, all are welcome to join. But we'll also have to have women who are experts in their own field. Not just to fill up the numbers.
Yes, yes.
We must have also quality. So that when they lead the other women, they will lead with an authority of knowledge.
Yes.
Not that, because she's Charles Pyngrope's relative, put her in the... Not that way. So we will, even the youth. In fact, the many youths who have joined us, some are postgraduate degree holders, some are doctorates. I mean, intelligent people, we need them.
Yes.
Because they will then educate the populace.
Yes, yes.
The electoral populace as to whom you have to vote for. Thereby, in the end, you get a combination that will work for the state. That is important.
True, true. So, what are the views of the AITC vis-a-vis the CAA? Are you going to work on a rolling back of this law?
I will tell you this. On the CAA, since the day it was introduced, the TMC had fought for the rollback of this draconian law, they call it, that they should remove this CAA. So we already have it.
Okay, okay.
And we'll continue. And now our voice will be stronger. Voice will be stronger.
Does the TMC have a farmers' wing?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
In fact, it's a very strong one in West Bengal. It's a very strong farmers' wing, and we'll have one very good one here also.
Because the farmers' voices are always muted, as we can see. Even when there was this huge farmers' protest across India, over here there was nothing. And when you asked the minister in charge of agriculture, he said that we don't have mandis here, and therefore there was no cause for a struggle of any kind. There was no cause for protest. But not having a mandi and then subjecting the farmers to the, the vagaries of the market, where squash, which used to sell first at 20 rupees, has come down to 2 rupees, and that is not being looked into.
The interest of the farmers is of paramount importance, because they are actually the backbone of the agricultural industry, and who will bring up the economy of the rural areas. In fact, during the farmers' agitation, the chairperson of the TMC, Mamata Banerjee, personally visited their farmers and raised their concerns in the House, in Parliament.
Okay.
In Parliament, which some of the other major political parties did do. So we have a base.
Okay.
It's now for us to build on it.
Yeah, you don't need to start from scratch.
You don't have to start. You have to build on it, and you can take the examples from them, and then grow.
What about the inner line permit? In the last assembly in 2019 December, all of you were in the Congress, and you had all strongly supported the idea that you should have an inner line permit. Do you think it's advantageous for the state to have these sort of regressive laws?
Well, as a house, now ultimately it was the voice of the people. They said we need the inner line permit, whether it is permanently or for a short period of time or for any duration. In that house, we had decided, okay, we will ask for an inner line permit. And our stand as the TMC, AITC stands there. Whether it will be regressive for the state or not, only time will tell.
Okay.
But I want to add, if that inner line permit system kicks in, it should be in such a manner that anybody wanting to come in won't have to run from pillar to post.
Ease of.
Yes, the ease of, and with today's digital age,
Yes.
it can be done in seconds.
Yes.
Then it doesn't affect anybody.
So what will be the governance priorities of the AITC should you come in 2023?
We will first analyze what is required immediately and work on those. Now there are many sectors which needs, but every sector is a priority.
And you must have seen the Niti Aayog survey reports, which put Meghalaya at the bottom of the pile, in terms of health infrastructure, in terms of maternal mortality, infant mortality, nutrition, and this anemia. 56% of women in Meghalaya are anemic. So I think these are concerns that must be escalated.
And how do you do that? You have to again boils back down to the same thing. You have to have experts to tell us. We have visited a community health center where the equipment for the surgery, the OT room had already come in, and the OT room was not there. So this is blatant misuse of public money. You normally buy the furniture after you build the house.
Yes.
This is the other way around.
So it means they're interested in procurement.
Probably, yeah. But the infrastructure should be there first.
Yes.
You have a dialysis machine, you don't have a medical engineer. Well, that's wrong.
Yes. And even the attention of the state government is not directed at Negrims. Negrims is located here. It's understood that it caters to the whole northeast. But because it is here, I think we need to pay more attention to it than other states.
True. We need to pay more attention. And I mean, I sometimes wonder what would happen if we didn't have decrypts.
Yes, yes, yes. But at the same time, there are a lot of complaints that things are not working.
So this, I mean, we have to study all this.
Yes, yes.
But again, bottom line is, are you interested to do it?
Yes, that is the question.
So, but when you have a party like the AITC, which means business, I mean, if you look at this lady, I mean, you'll be surprised. She doesn't live in an ivory tower. I mean, I was taken aback when I saw that. I said, this is the house she lives in. So when you have people who are so rooted down to earth, their only interest is for the people.
Okay.
But you start living in ivory towers, then you miss the bus.
Yes. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the viewers?
Well, as president of the AITC, I welcome each and every citizen of Meghalaya. You're most welcome to join the party in whatever capacity you feel like. There will be transparency in our workings. There will be transparency in what we do. And there will be transparency once you put us in the government to work for the interest of the people. That's all. And you have my word on that. And since this is also, we are coming into the festive season, where we welcome our newborn baby, Jesus, into our hearts and families, I wish the citizens of state Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this very frank and open conversation. And we wish you and your family a very happy Christmas and the TMC all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you.
So viewers, you've just heard Mr. Charles Pyngrope enlighten us on the larger vision of the TMC, as they call it, the All India Trinamool Congress, the AITC they call it today. He seems to be very serious about changing course in the way Meghalaya is governed. And he has spoken very frankly about rebuilding institutions and that it is possible if somebody really takes that to heart. So we have seen a lot of ups and downs in Meghalaya over the past 50 years. Next year we're celebrating 50 years of statehood. But if we look at the situation, it appears as if just the government is celebrating it and the public is not at all participating in the celebration because there isn't anything to celebrate. So we have it from the horse's mouth, from the president of the AITC in Meghalaya. And we hope that this party will bring in the much needed change that the people of this state are always looking at. So on this note, thank you very much.
Thank you.